Staying prepared for anything is something everyone should keep in mind at all times. It's not really about if something happens, but when it does, and how ready you are when it comes. Imagine a natural disaster hits and everything shuts down, or a global virus brings daily life to a standstill. In a situation like that, what would you actually do? You and your loved ones could easily end up in panic, trying to figure out how to get through each day until things return to normal. That's why this video covers 12 essential preparedness items that can truly make a difference in a crisis. In emergencies, these supplies can become hard to find, so having them ahead of time can be extremely valuable. For that reason, keeping these essentials safely stored at home is important, helping you stay prepared and protect your family when things become chaotic. 1. Propane/natural gas. Propane is a type of hydrocarbon gas that's produced as a byproduct during natural gas processing and petroleum refining. It's widely used as a fuel in both homes and businesses because it burns cleanly and works efficiently in a variety of situations. Most people already know propane can power heating systems like space heaters and fireplaces, helping keep indoor spaces warm and comfortable. On top of that, it's commonly used to run cooking appliances and can even serve as a reliable backup energy source when needed. The range of uses for propane is actually pretty extensive, making it one of the most versatile emergency supplies you can have. At its core, propane acts as an alternative energy source for cooking, heating, and even running certain appliances when your main power supply goes out. This becomes especially important during unexpected events like hurricanes, earthquakes, or severe storms that can knock out electricity for days. One major advantage of propane is that it can be stored for long periods without breaking down, unlike fuels such as gasoline or diesel. That means if you lose access to electricity or natural gas for an extended time, propane can still provide a steady and dependable way to meet basic needs like cooking meals and staying warm. Having that kind of backup in place can help keep you and your family safe while things slowly return to normal after a disaster. When handled correctly, propane is generally safe to store and use in comparison to many other fuel types. If it's stored properly, it carries a relatively low risk of leaks or explosions, and it's also non-toxic, meaning it won't contaminate soil or groundwater if a spill occurs. Keeping a propane supply at home gives you a level of independence and flexibility during emergencies. It essentially provides a fallback plan for essential needs like preparing food and maintaining heat, which can be critical in the days or even weeks following a crisis. Beyond cooking and heating, propane can also be used in several other practical ways. For example, it can power generators during long outages, run water heaters so you still have hot water, and in some cases even fuel certain vehicles if necessary. You can usually buy propane from hardware stores, gas stations, or specialized propane suppliers without much difficulty. That said, it's important to store it in a tightly sealed, properly secured tank, placed outdoors in a well-ventilated area away from buildings, heat sources, and anything flammable. Even though propane is incredibly useful, it can still be dangerous if it's not handled the right way. To stay safe, always treat it with care. Avoid smoking or using open flames near tanks, and check regularly for any signs of leaks. Make sure there's adequate ventilation when using propane indoors, and follow all safety guidelines closely. Finally, take the time to understand and follow local laws and regulations regarding propane storage, because the last thing you want during an emergency is to run into legal trouble. 2. Medical supplies. Keeping medical supplies at home can make a far bigger difference in an emergency than most people realize. Think about a situation where an earthquake has just hit, and emergency services are overwhelmed with urgent calls. Now imagine you've only got a small cut, while others nearby are dealing with far more serious injuries, like being trapped under debris. Naturally, first responders are going to prioritize those life-threatening cases before getting to something minor like your injury. But in the time it takes for help to reach you, that minor cut could turn into something much more dangerous if it becomes infected. What started as a simple injury could escalate into a serious health risk, all because it wasn't treated in time. The good news is that this kind of situation can often be avoided by having the right medical supplies stored at home ahead of time. Now picture the opposite scenario. An emergency hits, and pharmacies or drugstores are closed or completely inaccessible. Without basic medical items on hand, you'd be left exposed, unable to properly treat wounds or prevent infections. That's why having a well-stocked supply of essentials is so important for preparedness. Items like bandages, sterile gauze, antibiotics, and pain relievers can go a long way in helping you manage injuries until proper medical care becomes available. In emergency situations, pharmacies and drugstores are often among the first places to run out of supplies, especially if the crisis lasts for an extended period. Because of that, it's important not only to stock up, but also to store your supplies discreetly, since desperation can drive people to take what they don't have. When things go wrong, every moment counts, and having medical supplies within reach means you can respond immediately with basic care. This becomes even more critical when professional medical help is delayed or completely unavailable, such as during natural disasters, accidents, or sudden health emergencies. Keeping essential medical items readily accessible at home plays a major role in being prepared and responding effectively when the unexpected happens. These supplies act as your first line of defense, helping you deal with injuries, illnesses, or urgent situations that can arise without warning. Basic items like bandages, antiseptic wipes, and tweezers are incredibly important during emergencies, and they're typically included in a well-prepared first aid kit. With these tools, you can clean wounds, stop bleeding, and stabilize injuries until proper medical help becomes available. 3. Fire-starting materials. When a major disaster hits, especially something like a prolonged drought, local stores can quickly shut down due to empty shelves and disrupted supply chains. As resources disappear, panic tends to spread, making it even more important to be prepared ahead of time. That's why having reliable fire-starting materials at home is something you shouldn't overlook. Simple tools like lighters, matches, or even flint and steel can become incredibly valuable when you need to start a fire. In an emergency, being able to create fire means you can stay warm, cook food, or even signal for help if necessary. Having these items readily available in your home can make a significant difference in a survival situation. Fire serves several essential purposes. It provides heat, allows you to prepare meals, helps sterilize water, and can be used to attract attention for rescue. Without access to these basic functions, maintaining your health and safety becomes much more challenging, especially during power outages or widespread disruptions. As mentioned earlier, common fire-starting tools include matches, lighters, flint and steel, and even magnifying glasses for focusing sunlight. Each of these options gives you a way to ignite a fire quickly and efficiently, which can be critical when time is limited. By keeping these supplies on hand, you're better equipped to respond immediately in an emergency, ensuring access to warmth, light, and a way to cook both food and water. But their importance isn't limited to just practical use. They can also become highly sought-after items during a crisis. In situations where resources are scarce or unavailable, people may go to extreme lengths to get what they need. That's why it's smart to store these essentials discreetly and avoid drawing attention to what you have. During times of instability, survival instincts can take over, and some individuals may resort to theft or even violence to secure critical supplies. Fire-starting tools, being so vital, can quickly turn into valuable commodities under those conditions. Keeping them hidden adds an extra layer of protection for both you and your family. One strategy to stay safe is to avoid appearing overly prepared. If others think you have more than they do, it could make you a target. Blending in and maintaining a low profile can go a long way in preventing unwanted attention. For reliability, many people prefer durable options like a Bic lighter, which is known for its consistency. And if you're stocking up on matches, it's a good idea to include storm-proof versions that can still work in harsh weather conditions. 4. Batteries. Batteries play a key role in keeping essential devices like flashlights, radios, medical equipment, and emergency chargers running when it matters most. Having a supply of them at home becomes incredibly important during a crisis, especially when the power grid goes down. Their real strength lies in how versatile they are, since they can power a wide range of tools needed for both survival and communication. In emergency situations, dependable lighting is absolutely necessary for staying safe and getting around. Battery-powered flashlights offer a portable and reliable light source, helping you move through dark spaces, locate supplies, and even signal for help if needed. At the same time, radios that run on batteries become vital for staying informed, giving you access to emergency broadcasts, weather updates, and evacuation instructions. But batteries aren't just useful. They can quickly become highly valuable when access to electricity is cut off. During shortages, especially among those who aren't prepared, people may become desperate enough to try to take batteries from others. That's why it's important to store them discreetly to protect both your supplies and your household. If others notice that you have an abundance of critical items like batteries, it could attract unwanted attention and increase the risk of theft or conflict. By keeping them out of sight, you lower the chances of becoming a target for opportunistic individuals during chaotic situations. Beyond everyday devices, batteries are also crucial for powering certain medical equipment. Devices such as oxygen concentrators, insulin pumps, and electric wheelchairs often rely on a steady power source to function properly. In emergencies, having dependable battery power for these tools can literally mean the difference between life and death. Making sure you have enough batteries stored ensures that vulnerable individuals can continue receiving the care and support they depend on. When it comes to choosing the right type, lithium-ion batteries are often a strong option due to their high energy capacity and longer lifespan compared to many other rechargeable alternatives. 5. Non-perishable foods. Non-perishable foods come in several forms, such as canned goods, dried staples, and vacuum-sealed items that are designed to last. Canned options like beans, vegetables, fruits, and meats are packed with protein, fiber, and essential vitamins your body needs to stay healthy. Dry foods, including rice, pasta, beans, and lentils, are incredibly versatile and can be stored for long periods while still providing key nutrients like carbohydrates and protein. On top of that, vacuum-sealed snacks like jerky, almonds, and dried fruits offer quick, energy-dense options that are perfect during emergencies. Having a solid supply of non-perishable food is a cornerstone of disaster preparedness, ensuring you and your family have something to rely on when fresh food isn't available. These shelf-stable items deliver the nutrition and energy needed to get through difficult periods until normal food access is restored. One of the biggest advantages of non-perishable foods is their long shelf life, along with how easy they are to store and use. In emergency situations, they act as a lifeline, making sure you still have access to meals even when supply chains are disrupted. Many of these foods require little to no preparation and can be eaten without cooking, which is especially helpful during power outages or when resources are limited. Beyond the physical benefits, having a stocked food supply also provides peace of mind, knowing you won't be left without something to eat in a crisis. When building your zapas, it's important to first consider your own dietary needs as well as those of your family members. This helps you choose the right types of food that will actually be useful and sustainable over time. Focus on items that offer strong nutritional value and a long shelf life. Good choices include ready-to-eat meals like canned soups and stews, along with convenient snacks such as nuts, dried fruits, and protein bars. To keep everything in good condition, store your food in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight and heat. It's also a smart habit to rotate your supplies regularly so nothing expires and your stock stays fresh. Maintaining a steady rotation ensures you always have a reliable reserve of emergency food on hand. At the same time, it's wise to keep your food storage discreet, ideally in a pantry or area that isn't easily visible to visitors. During times of crisis, when resources become scarce, keeping your supplies out of sight can help reduce the risk of theft or conflict driven by desperation. 6. Portable water supply. A portable water supply is one of the most important parts of emergency preparedness, since clean water is needed for drinking, cooking, hygiene, and even basic first aid. In a crisis where regular water systems are damaged or completely unavailable, having a reliable backup source becomes absolutely essential for survival. Maintaining access to safe water isn't just about convenience. It directly affects your health and the well-being of everyone in your household. Having portable water on hand also gives you more flexibility and mobility, meaning you can still access and carry water with you if you need to move or relocate. Water is vital for everyday life, and the human body typically cannot survive more than a few days without it. Now think about a situation where you have young children or toddlers, and an emergency suddenly cuts off your access to clean drinking water. Thirst can quickly become dangerous, especially for vulnerable family members, if you aren't properly prepared in advance. To store water safely, it's best to use food-grade containers specifically designed for long-term storage. These can include BPA-free plastic bottles, collapsible water bladders, or durable water barrels meant for extended use. To prevent contamination, containers should always be kept clean, tightly sealed, and stored in a cool, dark place. It's important to make sure your stored water remains safe and suitable for drinking at all times. Fortunately, there are several cost-effective ways to improve water safety and preparedness. One option is investing in a basic water filtration system that can remove contaminants and harmful microorganisms from untreated sources. Another option is water purification tablets, which are lightweight, affordable, and easy to carry, making them ideal for emergency situations. These tablets usually contain chemicals such as chlorine dioxide or similar disinfecting agents that kill bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens, making unsafe water drinkable. Using them is very straightforward. You simply add the recommended number of tablets to a container of untreated water according to the instructions. After adding them, you need to stir or shake the water well to ensure the tablets dissolve completely and are evenly distributed. Then you let the water sit for the required contact time, which can range anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours depending on the product and water conditions. Once the treatment process is complete, the water can be safely stored or consumed. By preparing in advance like this, you ensure that you and your family will still have access to clean drinking water, even during extended emergencies where normal supplies are disrupted. 7. Duct tape and tarps for makeshift shelter. Duct tape and tarps are two incredibly useful tools when it comes to building temporary shelter during emergencies. Together, they can help protect you from harsh weather conditions and provide a quick, improvised refuge when normal housing is damaged or no longer accessible. In crisis situations like natural disasters that force people to evacuate or relocate, having these items on hand can make a huge difference in staying safe and sheltered. Duct tape is especially valued for its strength, durability, and versatility, which makes it a go-to item for emergency repairs and quick fixes. Its strong adhesive allows it to stick to many different surfaces, making it useful for sealing gaps, patching holes, or reinforcing weak points in structures. Whether you're repairing damage, securing loose materials, or putting together a temporary shelter, duct tape offers a fast and practical solution when time is limited. Tarps, on the other hand, are equally important in emergency preparedness because they provide lightweight but effective protection from rain, wind, and sun. Their flexibility makes them easy to adapt to different environments and situations, whether you're in open terrain or a makeshift camp. With tarps, you can quickly create small tents, lean-tos, or windbreaks that offer basic shelter for you and your family. Because they are portable and easy to carry, tarps are also ideal for hiking, camping, or emergency evacuation kits without adding much extra weight. They can be set up quickly when needed, whether for temporary housing, covering damaged roofs, or improving shelter conditions in evacuation areas. Both duct tape and tarps are widely available in outdoor supply stores, camping shops, and many general retail outlets. That said, in emergency situations, these kinds of supplies can become highly sought after, which is why many people choose to store them discreetly. Practicing preparation and discretion helps reduce unwanted attention and lowers the risk of theft during times of crisis. It's also important to make sure your family understands the value of being prepared while keeping a low profile when gathering essential supplies. Ultimately, having these emergency materials ready and safely stored can significantly improve your ability to cope and stay resilient when unexpected disasters occur. 8. Portable camping stove and cookware. A portable camping stove is a compact and lightweight cooking device that is typically powered by fuels like propane, butane, alcohol, wood, or similar energy sources. It offers a simple and reliable way to cook food, boil water, or heat meals when traditional kitchen appliances are not available. You can usually find these stoves in outdoor gear shops, camping supply stores, sporting goods retailers, or online platforms like Amazon or eBay. Having a portable stove along with camping cookware at home is extremely important for emergency preparedness, since it gives you a way to prepare hot meals when regular cooking methods are no longer functional. These tools are designed to be lightweight, practical, and versatile, making it easy to cook food, boil water, and keep your family properly nourished during a crisis. Camping cookware typically includes durable, easy-to-carry items such as pots, pans, spatulas, and stove attachments that are built for outdoor and emergency use. These sets are made to withstand tough conditions while still providing everything you need to prepare meals and handle basic cooking tasks. One of the biggest benefits of a portable stove is that it allows you to cook hot food and drinks, which can help maintain both physical energy and morale during stressful situations. With it, you can boil water for drinking, heat canned foods, or prepare freeze-dried meals that only require hot water. It also provides a steady and controllable heat source, which is essential when normal electricity or gas services are unavailable. In emergencies where clean water is limited, a portable stove becomes even more valuable because it can be used to boil water and make it safe for consumption. This is especially helpful if you don't have access to water purification tablets or filtration systems. Boiling water is one of the oldest and most reliable purification methods, effectively killing bacteria, viruses, and parasites that can cause illness. In simple terms, portable stoves and camping cookware are essential survival tools that support cooking, water purification, and overall day-to-day survival needs. They provide comfort, nourishment, and stability during difficult situations, helping you maintain your health and support your loved ones when conditions are unpredictable. These items can be purchased from online retailers like Amazon or found in local outdoor and backpacking stores, making them relatively easy to acquire before an emergency happens. 9. Oxygen tank. Oxygen tanks are an important part of emergency preparedness, particularly in situations involving air contamination or respiratory issues. In emergencies such as gas leaks, chemical spills, or environmental pollution, people may be exposed to harmful substances that can make breathing difficult and reduce oxygen intake. In these cases, oxygen tanks can provide immediate respiratory support for anyone experiencing shortness of breath, low oxygen levels, or breathing distress. Connecting someone to an oxygen supply helps maintain adequate oxygen in the bloodstream, reduces symptoms, and lowers the risk of serious complications related to respiratory failure. Oxygen therapy is a critical form of first aid in breathing-related emergencies. Whether caused by accidents, injuries, or exposure to toxic substances, respiratory problems can quickly become life-threatening if not treated without delay. Having oxygen tanks available allows for fast stabilization of a person's condition while waiting for professional medical help to arrive. Portable oxygen tanks also offer the advantage of mobility, making it possible for users to move around safely or evacuate if necessary during an emergency. Their compact and relatively lightweight design makes them easier to transport and use in different settings, whether indoors or outdoors. This flexibility becomes especially important during situations that require evacuation due to unsafe air conditions or environmental hazards. Including oxygen tanks in emergency preparedness planning can significantly improve your ability and your family's ability to respond quickly and recover from unexpected crises. At the same time, oxygen equipment is sensitive and valuable, so it must be handled responsibly and stored securely. In emergency situations, there is always a risk of essential medical equipment being stolen or misused due to panic or scarcity. For that reason, protecting and properly securing oxygen tanks is just as important as having them available when they are needed. 10. Personal hygiene items. During emergencies, like the kind experienced during the COVID-19 lockdown, maintaining good personal hygiene becomes extremely important for both physical health and emotional well-being. Proper hygiene habits help prevent the spread of illnesses and infections, which is especially crucial when access to medical care is limited or overwhelmed. Having basic hygiene supplies stored at home ensures that you and your family can stay clean and sanitary even when regular stores or services are disrupted. Essential personal hygiene items include things like soap, hand sanitizer, toothpaste, toothbrushes, feminine hygiene products, and paper towels or toilet paper. Each of these plays an important role in maintaining cleanliness and reducing the risk of disease transmission. For example, soap and hand sanitizer are key tools for hand hygiene, which is one of the most effective ways to prevent infection. Toothbrushes and toothpaste support oral health, which is closely connected to overall health and comfort. Feminine hygiene products, such as sanitary pads, are necessary for menstrual care, helping maintain hygiene and prevent discomfort or infections. Toilet paper and paper towels are also essential for basic sanitation and everyday cleanliness. During crises or lockdowns, these items can quickly become scarce due to supply chain disruptions or sudden increases in demand. Because of this, it makes sense to prepare in advance and store enough supplies to get through an emergency period. Being prepared also reduces the need to go out frequently, which can lower your exposure to additional risks during unstable situations. In times of scarcity, desperation can sometimes cause people to act unpredictably, which may even lead to theft of essential goods. For this reason, some people choose to store their hygiene supplies discreetly for added security. However, it's also important to be responsible when preparing. Stockpiling excessive amounts can contribute to shortages and make it harder for others to access basic necessities. A balanced approach is best. Keep what you reasonably need for yourself and your family without overbuying or hoarding. 11. Hard copy books. Hard copy books, especially those packed with practical information like first aid guides or DIY manuals, can be incredibly valuable during emergencies when digital access is unreliable or completely unavailable. These physical books serve as dependable, portable knowledge sources that you can turn to when technology fails or communication systems go down. Natural disasters, power outages, or structural damage can easily disrupt internet access and make electronic devices useless, leaving you without quick information when you need it most. In situations like these, printed books become essential tools for learning critical survival skills and handling emergencies effectively. For example, a first aid manual can provide clear, step-by-step instructions on how to treat injuries, manage wounds, or perform CPR. Having this kind of guidance in physical form can genuinely make a life-or-death difference when immediate medical help isn't available. Similarly, DIY instruction books cover a wide range of practical skills, from basic home repairs to food preservation techniques. In emergencies where professional help or services are out of reach, these resources can help you take matters into your own hands and solve urgent problems. Whether it's building a temporary shelter, purifying water, or managing food supplies, these guides offer useful knowledge that supports self-reliance during difficult times. Another advantage of hard copy books is their durability and long-term reliability compared to digital devices. Unlike electronics, they don't depend on batteries, internet connections, or charging, and they aren't affected by power outages or system failures. They can also withstand conditions that might damage electronic equipment, such as water exposure or environmental disruptions, making them a dependable backup source of information when everything else fails. In emergency or disaster situations, people often think about how to protect themselves and their households when normal systems are strained. One commonly discussed aspect of preparedness is having the means to deter potential threats, such as theft or intrusion during periods of instability when emergency services may be delayed or overwhelmed. The presence of protective tools in a home can sometimes provide a sense of security and may discourage opportunistic behavior, especially in situations where public order is disrupted. For some individuals, this is part of a broader approach to personal safety planning during uncertain times. At the same time, self-protection in emergencies is a sensitive and widely debated topic. What remains important across all perspectives is the idea that people want to be able to safeguard themselves and their families when unexpected crises occur, whether those are natural disasters, extended emergencies, or breakdowns in normal services. In addition to protection, survival preparedness often includes practical considerations like food access. In long-term emergencies where supply chains are disrupted, people may rely on skills such as sourcing food through legal means, including foraging knowledge, gardening, or hunting where it is permitted and regulated. These abilities can play a role in maintaining stability during difficult periods. However, any form of emergency preparedness that involves safety tools or specialized equipment requires proper education and training. Understanding correct handling, legal responsibilities, and safe usage practices is essential to reduce risk and prevent accidents. Equally important is secure storage. Any protective or emergency-related equipment should always be kept safely stored and out of reach of unauthorized individuals, especially in homes with children or visitors. This helps prevent misuse and ensures safety during calm and crisis situations alike. Ultimately, effective preparedness is not just about having supplies. It is about responsible planning, awareness, and maintaining security in a way that protects both individuals and the wider community during uncertain times.